Welcome to the City Current Show, powered by Higginbotham Insurance and Financial Services.
This show focuses on sharing good news and powering the good in our community. Now here's your host, City Current CEO, Jeremy Park.
Welcome to the City Current Show, powered by Higginbotham. I'm your host, Jeremy Park. We're always honored to bring you inspiring stories of individuals and organizations making a difference and powering the good. And that's why we're excited to be talking about a nonprofit bakery creating job training and living wage opportunities for parents transitioning out of homelessness. We're talking about Lucy J's Bakery, and we have with us Executive Director Josh Burgess. How are you doing?
It's just another day in paradise.
Well, when you talk about 7 years, the anniversary coming up, we have a lot to talk about there, but let's start with a little bit of history and some context. Give us some background for Lucy J's Bakery.
So thank you very much. We opened here in the Crosstown Concourse about a year after the building reopened. We are here in this neighborhood specifically because so is the Dorothy Day House. And our mission is to hire as many people from the Dorothy Day House as we can and provide job training. Start everybody at $15 an hour and see what we can do about moving them on to bigger and better opportunities.
Give people some perspective on Dorothy Day House, because I think that one is one of those that, you have a personal relationship obviously with. You also have the, business relationship with. But when you talk about families transitioning out of homelessness, the support that they provide, give us some perspective on Dorothy Day House.
So the Dorothy Day House currently has 3 houses in the Midtown area. Each house can hold 3 families at a time. We, in the beginning, were one of the only places where the whole family stayed together. We still keep the whole family together, whether it's a single parent with children or, a couple with children, whatever the case may be. They can stay at the house as long as they need to. I believe the average stay is still about 6 months, but they stay there rent-free. They have house managers that can assist them, and they come up with a plan and they work their plan, and hopefully that ends with them being in a stable housing situation.
So when you talk about the power of finding that financial stability, the job creation, the economic opportunity, obviously, to get paid and then be able to transition into, affordable housing and sustainable opportunities for your family, you all with Lucy J's Bakery play a vital role in that. So talk about how it works in terms of, the timing, the baking, the retail. Give us behind the scenes of the operation for Lucy J's.
So we hire as many people from Dorothy Day House as we can. If we have an opening and they have a need, then most of them will come in and start with customer service, taking care of the customers as they come in, learning a little bit about food. Most of the training is more about how to interact with coworkers, how to interact with managers, what to do when life gets in the way of coming to work or gets in the way of being on time or whatever the case may be. We also try to be extra understanding where most places might just fire somebody. We're a little more understanding and helpful with that. And then after they've been here for a while, if they move through the customer service, if they're interested in the baking or the prepping and that kind of stuff, we're happy to teach them that as well. Most of the people that come from the Dorothy Day House are available during kind of school hours. So we do supplement our staffing with some, food service regulars. And then we also have created a little community here by including some high school kids from the high school, Crosstown High School here in the building. So they can come in and supplement our afternoon hours if we need them to. And then weekend hours as well. So it's a neat little community of people that we have working together here.
Talk about the different things that you bake and you sell. So Lucy J's Bakery, tease us with the items. We
are really known for our cinnamon roll. I think it's probably the best. It's definitely the best cinnamon roll in town. Maybe even further than that, but it's a crowd favorite. We make everything here in house, from the fillings to the the different breads. We are really known for our croissant pockets, which are kind of like a square croissant that has been filled with either cheese and fruit or sandwich style with ham and Swiss, or we have a cheesy artichoke that we're really known for. And then we do have, the standard brownies and cupcakes and cookies, and we've started eclairs again. We have several different kinds of cheesecake every day. We're up to 10 different kinds, 10 or 12 different kinds of bread that's available definitely every weekend because we're at the farmers market downtown and at Cooper Young. And then we wholesale to a number of our community partners, such as Bog and Barley and Cafe Eclectic. So if you dine in those, and Jim, can't forget about Jim, they're very important to us on Madison. So if you dine there, odds are you've already had some Lucy J's, whether you realized it or not.
Talk about what the individuals learn, because as you mentioned, you have the training program. Talk about kind of, the baking experience that they get, the customer service experience. In other words, talk about how this experience really helps them grow.
So primarily, most of the people, everyone starts off in a different place. They're not cookie cutter. People are not cookie cutters, and so we try not to treat everybody the same way. But most of the time, we start you off in the front with helping customers and that kind of thing. And it's really to learn how to interact with the public, not to necessarily take everything that they do personally, because customers are coming in with their own baggage. We all come to work with our own baggage. And so once you learn that, the customers that are our favorite they're not doing it on purpose. That most customers, they're going through their own thing or they have their own situation going on, and they bring that in, and our bubbles collide, and sometimes it's a positive, happy thing, and sometimes it's not. So, but a lot of people take offense when they first join the service industry. They take offense if someone gives them attitude or if they have a rough interaction. So we want to teach ways to avoid that first of all, and then what to do if you do have that. And then you're also coming in with your with everything you've brought in, and so is your coworker. So how do we interact with coworkers? How do we interact with management? If you need something, you can come to your manager instead of at your manager, and you'll get you might get a better result. And then they do start off most of the time with small prep tasks, like we scoop our cookies ahead of time so that they're all the same size and everything. Scooping cookies, maybe decorating cupcakes, that kind of thing. Most of the heavy duty baking does occur at like 10 o'clock at night into the morning, or like 4 in the morning and on. And so a lot of our new hires are not available at those hours. So it may take them a little while before they get to that point.
You don't have to name any names, but give us a success story. So when you talk about, an individual coming in, especially with, through Dorothy Day House, and then watching their growth, watching them interact with the customers and gain confidence and those communication skills, and then, watching them blossom, through the culinary experience too. Like, talk about a success story.
One of our main, I don't even consider her, we consider her one of our main people now. She's known as Auntie V here. The high school kids all call her Auntie V. She's here every morning. The toddlers and the 4 or 5-year-olds that come in with their parents are always looking for Auntie V. If she's not here, then they'll cry or they'll turn around and leave. And I'm like, hey, I still have the cookie. But they're not here just for the cookie. They're here to see Auntie V. So she's been a great employee, basically since she's been here, and I think she's going on 5 years now. So she's definitely a staple here at Lucy J's, and we need her around. The little kids will, they'll riot if she's not here. But she's known as Auntie V, and so she's got a real secure place here in the community overall, not just Lucy J's, but everybody here knows her. We've had employees that came in that were they were rough around the edges. They didn't know how to interact. So when they interacted with a customer that gave them some attitude, their reaction was to basically fight back real fierce and real fast, and turn that attitude probably tenfold. And so we had to work with one in mind that I have in particular, that she was like that in the beginning, and then after working here and after having conversations, learning that hey, that person just, maybe they were having a bad day, or they didn't really say that. This is what you heard. I think this is what they meant. That kind of thing. And before she left, she was doing much better. She was, She was happy to come to work. She was happy, taking care of customers. They were happy to see her. And so that really turned around for her.
Talk about being a nonprofit, because when you talk about Lucy J's Bakery, you have obviously the customer side of this, the interface, just like we're talking about, but also being a nonprofit. So talk about that side.
Yeah, we're also a nonprofit. It's a little confusing because we do sell something every day. But when we were first starting out, we went to a bunch of investors, and one by one they said, "Well, this is a great idea. It's not a no, but it's not for me." And then I think after the fourth or fifth investor, he said, "It's a great idea. It's not a no. It's not for me, and it's also not a for-profit business. You should go back and rewrite it as a nonprofit." And then, he connected us to each one connected us to the next person. And so they finally connected us to the last person. And as a nonprofit, we were able to start with a very nice grant. And so we started that way. But we're not really. We're not here to make a big profit. We're here to do the job training. And training people does cost a lot more than just running a bakery. We also think it's very important to take care of your team members. So we started everybody at $15 an hour. We did that from day one. So that was before Target and Amazon were doing $15 an hour. And we could probably make some decent money if we paid everybody minimum wage, and we didn't do any training, and we did it all ourselves. But that's not the point of us being here. There's a lot easier ways to make money than getting here at 4 o'clock every morning. So, we probably wouldn't be doing that. But the focus is the job training and building the community that we've built, and kind of helping erase some of the stigma around homelessness and that kind of thing. Because we've created this environment where the general public comes in, they are being served by people who are experiencing homelessness or who have experienced homelessness. And so there is definitely a stigma around that, especially in this part of the neighborhood. And so we're working to kind of erase that a little bit.
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned that missional work there for sure. Tie that into how the community can help, because obviously as a nonprofit, the financial contributions, the donations are extremely needed. You also, too, have opportunities to increase your board. And so for those who say, wow, this sounds like something I really, want to be a part of and missionally, support in a bigger way, joining the board, I know that's an opportunity. But obviously, everybody just going in and purchasing the items, right? So talk about the many ways the community can support your efforts.
Well, that is the easiest way is to come in Tuesday through Saturday between 8 o'clock and 5 o'clock now, actually. And, we also do custom cakes and bread orders, and we can wholesale at restaurants, that kind of thing. So that's all helpful. And we use volunteers from time to time. If anyone has a particular skill, such as painting or equipment repair or electricians or anything like that, we're always looking for help in those different departments. Like you said, we are looking to grow our board. So if you're interested in being part of the leadership, the vision, and the fundraising for the organization, you definitely come talk to me, and I'd be happy to see where we can fit you in. And then if you just want to donate, we also you can donate here in the shop, donate on our website through the PayPal Giving Fund. You can also order on our website. And so that's all. Check out the website, contact me through the website or here in the shop, and I'm sure we can find a task for you.
How has this work changed you personally? When you talk about, launching Lucy J's Bakery, obviously working in partnership with Dorothy Day House, talk about how this work has changed you and your family.
Well, I really think that it just really solidified some things we already knew, that, there are people that are having a tough time. And most people are a lot closer to that stage of life than they think they are. We meet people all the time that, they just weren't taught what they needed to be taught, or their situation changed because an employer closed, or there was one lady who found herself to be experiencing homelessness because the place that she worked burned down. It had nothing to do with her. She worked there for 10 years. She came in one morning and the building was gone. So, there's a lot of things that can lead us into that situation. And so it's just nice to be able to help people through that and hopefully onto, back to stable housing.
Well, you mentioned we can go to the website to place orders, to make donations. So go ahead and wrap up with contact information, website, phone number, social media, email. Where do you want everybody to go to learn more and get involved with Lucy J's Bakery?
The best place would be to either drop by the shop here at 1350 Concourse Avenue. We're in Suite 151 right next to Global Cafe, or to go to the website, which is lucyjbakery.com. And there you can find out, all the other contact. And of course, we're on all the social medias, Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff. So we don't post as often as I would like, but we are getting better at it. So check that out and become part of the mission.
Absolutely. Well, Josh, thank you for all you and your amazing team do to power the good. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Higginbotham Insurance and Financial Services is proud to power the City Current Show. We're a people-first company that protects what matters most, the families, businesses, and trailblazers that keep our community going. As one of the nation's top independent insurance firms, Higginbotham is a single-source solution for business insurance, employee benefits, HR services, and personal insurance that's customized for you. We're here to serve you, the people you care about, and your community. Call 866-377-1959 or visit higginbotham.com.